Good evening or morning, depending where you are in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Group B of Super PogChamps. This is like no other edition there has ever been. It is the strongest players that we've ever had compete in this competition. And we're starting off with a bang. The first game I have for you is two success stories, I suppose. You've got Tyler 1 with the white pieces who was in PogChamps 5, was like 200, has grinded himself or grinded by himself using the cow opening to over 1800. And you've got Wirtual with the black pieces who was a consolation bracket winner in PogChamps 5. Tyler 1 has got the white pieces. This was in round 1. And he goes for what he knows. He goes for the cow. Now, let's also not be frank here. H5, he does counter with H4. It's not just, preset moves. He's not, I don't want to throw shade on the London, but it's not preset. He is still doing the good things. You don't get to 1800 playing the cow, not knowing what you're doing and being aware of things. Bishop G7, Bishop E2, Knight to F6, and now E4, expanding in the center. We get D4. Knight jumps to B3. Now here probably, actually, you can go to F3. You should also probably play A4 because you might actually want to put the knight on C4 is an idea. But knight B3, of course, is fine. We get B6, Bishop D2, short castles, Queen C1, and E5. Looking at this position just from here, you can see why black is better at point 1. Why? They've got more space. That's the problem when you play the cow. You don't have space. But Tyler 1 plays the cow more than like Anna Kramling, who invented the damn thing. So we get a bishop to H6, now knight to G4, and we get the trade. So Tyler 1 has accomplished. He's got this bishop off the diagonal. But that actually might be a benefit for Wirtual. All these pawns are on dark squares. He's given up his dark squared bishop, and he's got a light squared bishop that's going to control the light squares. Bishop takes G4 might be a bit premature. Bishop takes G4, and now Queen D2. A5. As I said, look at Wirtual. All the space he's occupying. You might think this could be overextending. Not for the moment. A3, A4. Knight back to C1. Look at Tyler 1's pieces. They just can't get forward. Wirtual controlling all the space. B5. F3, bishop to E6, and now F4. Pawn break. But it's not necessarily a good move, because takes, queen takes, and now look at the C4. Wirtual cracking through on the queen side, where he's occupying all the space. It's not the best move, but it's good enough. Knight CE2, bishop to G4, and now knight G1. Tyler 1 loves moving knights. In this position, you should do what you haven't done and castle or play rook d1, anticipating the opening of this file. You should castle. 22 moves, no castling. C takes d3, C takes d3, and now knight to a5. Not the best move, but good enough, because queen e5, king h7 is a couple of misses. So the best move here, according to the engine, is to play knight to f3. And then when you don't play that, you give check. The best move here is actually to play f6. F6, queen takes b5, and then I believe it was queen c7, threatening the knight. So to put that on the board, f6, queen takes b5, and now queen c7, threatening the knight. You would have to play like knight 1 e2, and then you can play like rook fb8. And you just begin lasering in, and Tyler 1's king is so weak because it's not castled. He just forgot. King h7 though, now knight f3, knight to b3, and now knight g5 check is a mistake. Why? Because after king g8, there is just a fork being threatened, and you're running into your own problems here against your king. Rook b1, and now f6, fork. Tyler 1's just losing a piece. He gives a check and trades the queens, but that's probably not good, because he's down a piece. Rook a8 check, and now you have to block, and blocking just actually hangs mate in 2. Because it's rook takes e2, king slides over, and rook takes b2, check. And mate. The king can't go to any of these squares. It has to go there, at which point rook takes will be mate. So this is mate. And Tyler 1 went down to Wirtual in the first round. It was going to be a long day for Tyler 1, if unfortunately if you're a Tyler 1 fan. But they, of course, were not the only players playing. There were four other players in the field, and one of them was having a fantastic run. An absolutely fantastic run. We find him. Where is he? Where's the game I'm looking for? No. No. Sorry, just so comes doing that weird thing. Now I can't find the game that I'm looking for. Yes, here it is. Here it is. One of these players that was having a great day, sorry for the pause, was Samay Raina, who's got the white pieces, and he's playing Daryl Morey. Samay Raina is a 1700 or so in strength. I mean, he's probably a little bit better than that now, but I mean, he's a really good player. And he's playing Daryl Morey, who's about 1400, not by no means a weak player. We have e4, d5, and e takes d5, queen takes d5. A Scandinavian defense. These guys playing proper openings. Knight to c3, queen to d6. Oh, I just called myself. I'm not throwing shade on the cat, just by the way. I'm just saying they're playing real stuff. Sometimes you watch PogChamps, and the players have got no idea what's going on. So yeah, Scandinavian defense, d4, knight to f6, knight to f3, and a6. a4 is a bit of a mistake. Bishop to g4, bishop e2, knight c6, and d5. Knight jumps out to b4, h3, bishop to f5, and now the knight jumps into the center, d4. Bishop drops back and short castles. Knight b takes d5, and black is slightly better. Black is slightly better, but this game just goes bananas. We get knight takes d5, knight takes d5, bishop to f3. Knight gets defended. We get c4 attacking the knight, and the knight goes to b6. And simply, it just looks like you're losing that pawn. And you are. Bishop takes b7, but rook d8. And now you must be precise. Bishop c6 check is the correct move. King e7. And now a very sneaky idea. Bishop g5 check. You might say, why is it sneaky? f6. Because there's this move. Bishop e3. Defending the knight. Best move. Knight takes c4. Rook e1. Knight takes, pawn takes. e5. Queen b3 check. Not check. Queen b3. Now obviously the idea is if takes, e takes d4 is devastating for the black king, right? So it's a tactical sacrifice. Queen to b3. You must play f5. That's the best move for black. f5. Don't take this yet, just play f5. But here, Daryl Morey plays bishop f7 and hangs mate in 1 with knight f5 checkmate. Just by the way, he spent a minute to hang mate. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Samay Raina, by the way, finished 10 out of 10 for the day. He beat everybody 2-0. He beat Will Benson, Wirtual, Sardoche, Tyler 1, and Daryl Morey. 10 out of 10 performance from him. He's now 17-23. Absolutely incredible stuff. So he's through. He topped everything. The question is who's joining him. And that is going to be this man. If I can find the game. Yes, I can find the game. We have, with the black pieces, Sardoche, a former PogChamps winner. I just realized I haven't turned the board back on. Sardoche, with the black pieces, a former PogChamps winner. Will Benson, not a former PogChamps winner. He's got the white pieces. d4, knight f6, bishop f4. There were a few Londons played today, ladies and gentlemen. There were a few Londons. c5, though, is a very interesting and challenging line against the London. e3, queen b6, and now b3. g6, knight f3, c takes d4, knight takes d4 is a mistake, and black is winning already. See if you can tell why. Most of you might think, well, e5 doesn't work because bishop just takes e5. No, e5 is the exact right move. You might say, why? Because you can't actually take this. But that's what happened in the game. And queen a5 check just picks up the bishop. Knight blocks, we pick up the bishop. And Will Benson is down a piece on move 8. Yeah, Sardoche was in incredible form. Bishop develops, gets slapped back. We attack the queen. Queen drops back, and now check. Bishop here, and you can't trade. Bishop e2. And it was just, calm composure, and now just converting the fact that you're up. And, Benson hangs the rook, or hangs the exchange rather. Goes on to, do his best, but look at that. Bishop b5. Sardoche was, just crushing, absolutely crushing. Bishop b5 is an insane move. Reason being, you can't take this bishop because mate is hung. So probably the best move is to play rook takes, but rook takes again threatens mate. So once again, you can't take the bishop. So rook takes, and now h3, which allows check here, queen check here, and now look at that. Bishop c6. Oops. Queen gives a check, and the bishop comes back. I don't know why you didn't just take this. Or try and defend that. Bishop takes f3, queen goes here, and rook h1, mate. Sardoche was very, very good today. He played 11 games. He did go to tie breaks in the one game. But 8 out of 11 for him. 2,081. He's a 2,000 rated player now, Sardoche. Not to be messed with. Will Benson, to his credit, is 1,600. But he, unfortunately, today was on the wrong end of things. And that, ladies and gentlemen, means I can show you this. Top of the day, a 10 out of 10 literal performance from Samay Raina. 15 points, beating everybody to love. Sardoche with 11 points to finish second. And Wirtual with 8 points will finish third. It was close in the end. A lot different from the Group A that was yesterday. So Wirtual and Sardoche will go on to play the two ladies in Andrea Botez and Linda Diaz. Of course, Massey Okal straight through to the semifinals, as is Samay Raina. Will Benson, Tyler One, Daryl Morey will all be heading into the consolation bracket. Benson almost pulled it off. He beat Wirtual 2-1, and he went to tie breaks, and that was a winning tie breaks, and he went to tie breaks against Tyler One. But, Tyler One struggled. He went to tie breaks twice against Daniel Morey and against Will Benson. That being just one match win for him. Same for Daniel Morey, who beat Tyler One. So they kind of exchanged points there a little bit. Really, really insane. Some of these games were beautiful. I picked out a few highlights. Which I hope you enjoyed. Some of these games were they were something else. But I hope you're enjoying super PogChamps.